What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was gonna, I thought Lil Murder was gonna turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably up in prison. Girl. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped head everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see Cassie. Get me up in my DMs, I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
I keep saying you would think that with all the time I have to get it together, that I would be ready by the time the intro was over. But clearly I'm not. All right, we're here. Hey. What is good? What is up? What is up? Hey. What's up, people? What is up? What is up? We are here. We are live. We done got it together. Child. Hey, Tabitha. Hey, y'all. Hey, Miss Trisha P. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jam. Diamond Pearl Jam. You normally one of the first ones in here every time. What's up, y'all? So listen. So a couple questions before we get started as I open up my email. So do y'all think, well, I don't know why I'm even asking y'all. Hey, Volvo, because I know what y'all gonna say. So I saw that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Miami came back yesterday. And y'all know I ceremoniously quit both in the middle of the season last year. Like, y'all know I could not do it. Like, it was just unwatchable. I haven't even watched these 2 episodes last night. Is it worth me watching and reviewing? Like, is it worth it? Because the way my temperament and my brain cells are set up, I don't know if I can. Like, I knew I couldn't do it last year. Last season, I should say. Baby, I knew. I said, no, I don't even have it to do. So I just need to know from y'all. I thought they was over too, Tabitha, but apparently they came back last night. They had Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Love and Hip Hop Miami. And girl, I was like, because I saw some reviews. I haven't watched the reviews, but I saw people had posted reviews. And but I haven't watched either one of them yet. Hey, Volvo Boo. And child, I don't know. A bitch, you just don't know. So I'm gonna need for y'all to tell me whether or not it is worth my time, effort, and energy. Okay. Um, child. Like my problem with Atlanta was the new people. Like, what was the chick? They all had like weird, like raggedy names. Like, what was the chick who is Dion Ferris's daughter? She was on there, and I couldn't get with her. And there was this other chick that was kind of dark skin or whatever, and she was having like one of her storylines was her issues with her mom or something. I don't know. It was all over the. I couldn't. I just didn't have the energy. And then with Love and Hip Hop Miami, which I loved, Love and Hip Hop Miami, and they just messed it up. Child, it was they were all over the place. Where Ray J got on there, and it was just too much. It was just I just didn't have it to do. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. And I really could just go on there and just drag them for the whole review, but then it got to the point where it wasn't even worth me handing out drug problems. Okay, child. They do need Mona back. They need Mona back real bad. What is Mona doing now? Like, is Mona and her production company doing anything right now? Like, I haven't really seen Mona Scott on nothing recently. Maybe y'all know. I don't know. hmm But I said I was gonna ask y'all about that. Also, so my best friend has me told me that I have to watch um the Sandman. He said it's so good that I'm gonna love the shit out of it. So my when I get off this live, I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm gonna start my binge watching of the Sandman on Netflix. He says I'm gonna be up all night watching it. He already told me. He said, listen, just brace yourself. You're gonna start and you're not gonna want to stop. So I don't know. Um yeah. So child. Because I saw Rocks Forest Rocks did do a review. I think I saw her do a review. Was it her? I know I saw Ashley had a review up, but I thought I saw Forest Rocks had a review up. I don't know, but y'all tell me. Oh, so Diamond Pearl Jam, you say Sandman is good? Okay. That's what my best friend knows me. He said, bitch. You know when your best friend start off with bitch. At least my best friend. When he start off with bitch, I already know it's about to be good. So that's what he told me. He said, "Bitch, just prepare yourself." So that's my viewing tonight. But if y'all tell me y'all want me to go and review the Love and Hip Hops Atlanta and Miami, then I might be inclined to watch those before I get into the Sandman. Y'all let me know what y'all want me to do. I don't have a lot of stories today, so we could spend a little bit of time really breaking these stories down. Like we can spend some time, parceling them out. Really be not gonna be live today, y'all. She is traveling across the globe. She is on her way to France. Viva la France, sis, is we're praying traveling mercies. You know, we're praying for her traveling mercies. Um, as she is flying all over the globe. So yeah. So we ain't got to worry about running into her time. So y'all let me know. I might take another poll at the end of this live to see if y'all want me to watch them and maybe review them. Y'all go ahead and like the video up, share, and all of that good stuff. Subscribe. All that still leaves a nasty taste in my mouth saying that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Just don't say it anyway. But yeah. So oh, I have a gift for you all. So I received a link now. I don't usually do this kind of stuff on my channel, but I saw this offer and it was legit. I did it myself. It worked. It's not a scam. They're not phishing. It works. And so I had to share it with you all. So where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? Trying to get the link for y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. So on one of my websites, I ran across for those people. Hey, Quintessential, Shondo's to you. Now I'm not gonna put this in the description box. I'm gonna put it in the chat because that's only for y'all people. I might share it on my members only, but I'll put it in the I might share it on my community page for members only. But I'm gonna put this in the chat, not in the description box. So for those people who are techies, um, when Microsoft comes out with new versions of Office Professional or whatnot, you either have a couple options. You could either pirate it, like some of us do. We go on nefarious websites in the dark web and download the whole suite, professional suite, for free. Or you could pay for it, which usually costs like $400 or $500. Usually, generally about 350. Sometimes I've seen it all the way up to like four something for a license. Well, I found a that link right there will take you to a website where you can pay $59.99 and get a lifetime. Oh, it won't let me post it because it's too long. The link is too long. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna post the link. Um, um, how do I want to do this? I'm trying to think. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna put it on my community wall while I'm live, and then when I get off live, then I will when I get off live, I'll make it members only. So I will while I'm live, I'll post it. It'll be up for everybody on the community wall. I'm about to put it there now. Um, um, and then when I get off, I'll make it members only. But what it is it's a lifetime free subscription to Microsoft Office Professional. So what happens is you get a lifetime subscription, and every time they come out with a new Microsoft Office Professional suite, you can just download it for free. The whole suite. I'm talking about the whole gamut with Access and all of the other ones that you normally don't get, Publisher and Access, and all of the different ones that doesn't come with the regular home suite. It is the professional. And so this one gives you the 2021 Microsoft Professional suite. But it's with lifetime download and access. Let me go ahead and post this good link. Hold on. Bam, bam, boom. All right. So I'm clicking the link now. Right. It takes you there. So it gives you a lifetime license. They're only doing it for another couple days. Okay. Hey, Sauce on the side. So y'all know we don't do a whole lot of this on my channel, but if you look, it has Word, Excel, it has Word, Excel, OneNote, PowerPoint, Outlook, Publisher, Access, and Teams. It has all of that. It is the professional Microsoft Office Professional Suite. Listen, if you know anything about software, first of all, you ain't getting none of it. You ain't getting a one-time download for $59.99. This is not only a download of the um, Microsoft Office, and it lets you toggle the Windows version is $59.99. They also have it in the Mac or Apple version, and that one's $54.99. But um it's a lifetime license. So that's what it is. It's a lifetime license. So it's every time they upload it, you'll be able to do it. I tried it, I did it, it works. It was no issues. Everything was great, beautiful. The link is there. It will be up there while I am live. Once I click off, I'm going to change it to members only. So that's my gift. You're welcome. Um, like I said, that is hard to find. So use that link, click it. I think you have until Friday, and then it's gonna go back to regular price, which is like 300 and some odd dollars. So yeah, don't say I ain't never hook you up. There's your hookup. There's your hookup. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. Come on, Master P. Remember that movie? I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. But that right there is absolutely um something that you could use. Absolutely something that everybody can use. So there you go. You're welcome. I'm here for the people. I'm here for y'all. You know what, Tracy? Hey, Tracy, how are you, my love? Does it include palate cleanser? No, I don't even have any palate cleansers today because today is a politics of it all. We don't do palate cleansers on the politics of it all. Girl, I got one more thing to talk about before we get into all of our topics today. Since we got a little time. Since we got a little time. So, oh, also, since y'all is in the room, y'all make sure y'all go. Well, I'm sure all y'all already do, but y'all know y'all is gonna be live tonight. Him and Scotty and them, they're gonna be doing whether or not you like it. They'll be doing their panel tonight, discussing Real House Skanks of Atlanta. I think they are discussing either Married to Medicine or Bell Collective with it as well. So go over there, subscribe to y'all, hit the notification bell so you can see them when they go live. So today is a sad day. It was a sad day. It truly was a sad day. Why is it a sad day? Because Serena Williams announced that after the U.S. Open, she's retiring. Listen, Serena Williams is the greatest to me tennis player, male or female. I have no problem to making that argument. And is in the argument, if she's not in your top 10 of greatest athletes of all time, you have a bad list. Your list is flawed. Um, I'm trying to think. And when I say greatest, I'm not even just talking about greatest female athletes. I'm talking about greatest athletes, period. Male, female, cat, dog, and everything in between. Um, she is in my she's my number one greatest tennis player of all time, followed by Steffi. Y'all know Steffi is my hoe. I don't play by Steffi Graf. But she is, I'm trying to think, the only female athlete that may edge her in terms of greatest female athlete of all time is probably, hey Jay Parrish, is probably Jackie Joyner Kersee. I'm gonna say Jackie Joyner Kersee maybe edges her out. She's right there, but she edges Serena out in terms of female. But even if you're talking about in the pantheon of all athletes of all time, the greatest athletes, male and female, Serena Williams is in my top 10. She's in my top 10. She absolutely is. I'm not going to deny her. She's in my top 10. So yeah, got to give that to her. But she announced that yeah, it's the end of an era, and I don't think any of us are ready, girl. When she whether or not she wins the US Open or whether or not she loses in the earlier rounds, um I'm probably going to be over here with tears and snot bubbles because it is the end of an era. Allison Felix is good too, but for me, um I want to. Jackie Joyner Kersee is the greatest track and field, female track and field star of all time. There is no question. For me, it's Jackie Joyner Kersee. Allison Felix. Um, I might put FloJo ahead of her. I would have to think about it. I really would have to think about it. But Allison Felix doesn't make my top 10. Does she make my top? She make my. Does she make my top 10 female athletes of all? She doesn't make my top 10 athletes period of all time. But does she make my top 10 female athletes of all time? I don't know that she does, and I love that. This is no disrespect to Allison Felix, but that's a lot of female athletes. That's a lot of people, and I'm not even making Allison Felix the greatest female track and field star, you know. But yeah, I'm not ready for so like Serena has been around for generations, years. They don't know tennis without Serena Williams. Like Serena Williams um goes all the way back to the late 90s. She won her first Grand Slam and what was that, 99? Like if you're a Generation Zer, you don't even comprehend tennis before the Williams era, before Venus and Serena. And if you remember early on, we all thought Venus would be the one with all of the titles, and Richard Williams came right out and said, "Nah, it's gonna be Serena." And nobody believed him, and as soon as everybody wasn't believing him, she skyrocketed. And yeah, I it even if you look at every time you feel like you're gonna have another female or women's champion or women, some the next great hope in women's tennis, they'll win a slam and then they'll lose a slam. And for example, Even and then there, and this is gonna come out harsh, but I'm gonna just say it. These Generation Z kids and late millennial kids, they are not mentally and emotionally strong enough to deal with what comes with that kind of limelight. Look at Naomi Osaka, and this is no disrespect to Naomi Osaka because mental health is a real thing. However, this speaks to the fact that the mental wherewithal is not there. I'm just saying. And she's a great athlete, but she doesn't have she can't handle the pressure. You know, these kids come from the orange slice days. They come from the everybody gets a participation trophy day. They come from the days of my coach. Why is my coach yelling at me? Why is my coach cussing at me? Why my teacher told me I got an F? You know, they come from that. They don't have that mental fortitude to deal with pressure. Like they haven't been tried. See, when you come from a certain, I would say older the top half of the millennial generation, and I'm talking about from about 87 up or back, I should say. So if you were born 87 or you and I might be stretching with 87, but I'm gonna take you all the way to 87. I'm gonna just stretch it to 87. But anything after that, these kids are not um um are not ready. They're not at all. These kids aren't prepared. They're not prepared at all. So they just their experiences in life, just what they've gone through has not prepared them for I can speak to that as an educator and educating a lot of these kids. Like a lot of these kids are pacified and they are made to feel as if the entire orbit of the earth, you know, revolves around them. Like, you know, the sun rotates on its axis around them. And they have that expectation. And when it doesn't and it's unfortunate because being coddled through your formative years then means that you become an adult and expect that the world is going to bend to your whims or to your expectations. And it just doesn't happen like that. And you find out real fast that it's a sick, sad, cold world and you are not prepared for it. Not at all. Child, child, child. These kids will never know, but you talking about and think about what the Williams sisters endured, especially early on in their career, and the prejudice, the discrimination, the racism, outright racism. Remember, there was a whole big thing even about their hair and how they, you know, had their hair. Remember, they were being called monkeys and all kinds of stuff. They had all types of horrible, incendiary epithets thrown at them and hurled at them. And this wasn't just in the U.S. This was globally because racism isn't just something that happens here in the US, it happens around the world. Let's be clear. So, and they, you know, push through. Imagine some of these young girls right now having to deal with that. They would crumble, they would be crushed under the pressure. They get, listen, they get beside themselves. You ask them too many questions at one time. Child. But anyway, I ain't mean to go off on this tangent about that. But I did want to come on here and say, it's a sad day to know that Serena is has said she's going to call it quits. She is a champion's champion. Um, Man, you know how many times you see Serena, she done got herself, dug herself into a hole, and she might be down match point, second set, and it's love 40. It's love 40. She down match point, second set, and the ball is on her serve. And next thing you know, what she do? She served 120-mile-per-hour serve right down the tee. Get some bitch. And it is off to the races from there. And now she got to dig herself out the hole, which she does, and comes back and wins in 3 sets. You know what I'm saying? We've seen her do that so many times. Or the dominating Serena, where you can't even get close to her serve. Like, she'll win a game all first serves. 1, 2, 3, next game. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be sad to see her go. It's going to be sad to see her go. But we're grateful. I'm grateful that I was able to experience. She and I are about the same age, and I'm grateful to be able to have been there to experience it. Sometimes when we talk to our parents, and our parents will tell you about the glory days of the old timers, the people. Shout out to my frat brother Bill Russell, who just died last week. But I wasn't alive during Bill Russell's heyday when he was doing, the damn thing, and when Wilt Chamberlain was doing it. I wasn't alive during that time, so I can't tell you about what they have done. But I can say that I was alive and can vividly remember the Michael Jordan era in basketball. I can remember the Joe Montana era in football. I can remember, and I can remember Serena Williams' era in tennis, which is like nothing at the Tiger Woods era in golf, the Tom Brady era in football. Like, there are certain names that 20, 30 years from now, you're going to be able to say, oh, no, girl, I was there. I saw this. And they're going to try and say, oh, so and so is better than Serena. You're going to look at them like, girl, 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 I was there. I can tell you, she's not like, for example, they want to tell you all of these basketball players, for example, oh, this person is better than Michael Jordan. This person is better. And you'd be like, bruh, mm-mm. First of all, Jordan was in a whole different time where they had a whole different set of rules. And if the people you was talking about was during that time, they would not be able to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But shout out to Serena. We're glad, we're happy that we were here for it. We're glad that she was a champion's champion. And I love those times where she was combative with the media, because sometimes the media would be out of pocket. They should be like, no, we ain't doing. She'll get up from that good podium. Baby, I'm not doing this with y'all today. Bye. Not just what she was able to do in the court with her athleticism. Think about the advancement she's made with the fashion on the court. Serena Williams pushed the envelope like only black people can. Y'all know how us black people are. If we gonna go out there, yeah, we gonna beat you down, but we gonna look good beating you down. Okay? Please be clear. Baby, we gonna beat you down, but baby, we gonna have on a sickening outfit while we beating you down. Okay? So think about, I never forget, the iconic Serena Williams outfit will always be the cat suit, as they called it. The cat suit, as they called it. Child, child, care, child. Maria Sharapova, child. The fact that she was even allowed to be on the same court as Serena Williams, child. She got on my nerves. Maria Sharapova. I hated her. Girl, I used to hate her. Or Anna Kournikova. Remember Anna Kournikova who couldn't play worth a lick, but they just liked the way she looked. Shut up, girl. Serena's only rival or real matchup was maybe Venus when they both were in. Remember that first time they played each other in the Grand Slam final, and the whole world was in pins and needles. Like, okay, are they really gonna go at each other? Hard. I was like, hell yeah, these are sisters. They probably gonna go at each other harder than they do other people. But yeah, but just think about, Serena Williams had the whole thing. Tennis whites are very boring unless it's Wimbledon, where it's classy. Because the rule in Wimbledon is you can't go out there in anything except tennis whites. And even when she went out there, her tennis whites, she still made a statement. Like she said, tennis whites are boring except Wimbledon, where it's classy. So, um, shout out to her. I mean, I remember the moment when she passed Steffi Graf and Chrissy Everett. And no, yeah, no, she passed, I think, Chrissy Everett and Martina Navratilova at the same time. I think that was when she got 18. And I think she passed Steffi Graf after she passed 22. hmm And the only accomplishment Steffi Graf has over Serena is she has a true Grand Slam. She got the Serena Slam, but she never got the true Grand Slam, which was all four majors in the same year. Steffi Graf also, I believe was it 88? Either 88 or 92. Steffi Graf got the Golden Slam, where she not only got all four majors in one year, she also got the Olympic gold medal in ladies single in one year. But that's the only thing. But Serena still has all four. She has the career slam. She has the Serena Slam. She just didn't get um the the Grand Slam that you get and where you get all four in one year. So yeah, shout out to her. She is retiring. It's gonna be a sad day. We're gonna be over here boo-hoo crying, honey. Whenever she bows out, and we'll be here for it. Hey, yay, Serena. All right. Where do we go from here? Oh, I don't even know. Let me. Hey, Nicole Stevens. Hey, my love. We've been over here talking about Serena for about 30 minutes. Just yeah, it's time. Just go ahead and embrace yourself. hmm it's time for sugar spikes. Hashtag sugar spike. Hashtag that sugar. That sugar. Is that sugar? Cha. Okay. All right. So I think let me do this story and get it out of the way. Now, and I'm just going to do this real briefly. Now, I told y'all that with all of the the news fanfare ranting and raving about 45 and so forth, my overall take on 45 and these investigations is talk to me when we get a conviction. When we get an actual conviction, baby, we gonna come on here and rant, rave, scream, holler, break it down, and all of that stuff. But even at the point of indictment, I ain't gonna even still be all feeling no kinds of way because I know how these people are. They all in cahoots with each other. on both sides. And if you want me to believe that there's going to be an actual conviction of 45, I'm talking about not just indictments, not just charges, conviction. When that happens, then we can have a real conversation. But I'm gonna break this. I'm gonna go over this story real quick, and we're gonna leave it from there. So last night they raided Mar-a-Lago, the Donald Trump's compound. Baby, we all want to know what's in the safe, child. He probably got dildos and sex toys up in that shit. Nasty ass. He probably got one of them those, pocket cooches, or the little torso, the bottom of the torso little sex toys, because Melania ain't giving him none. Is Melania even still living in the same house as 45 anymore? A mess. So I went to the Hill, and I saw this quick story. I said, child, let me get this is probably my best way to address this. So the Hill came out with what they say is what you need to know about the FBI search of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago compound. So they said the FBI on Monday searched the Mar-a-Lago estate of former President Trump, a dramatic step that has increased speculation about the former president being in legal jeopardy. The search, which reportedly focused on the retention of classified materials, comes as Trump is under scrutiny in a flurry of investigations related to January 6, 2021 riot at the Capitol. His pressure campaign against election officials in Georgia, and his business dealings in New York. It also comes against the backdrop of Trump considering a White House bid for 2021. So here's what we need to know about the search. What was the FBI doing? The FBI entered Mar-a-Lago after securing a search warrant from the federal magistrate judge after demonstrating probable cause supporting their suspicion of criminal activity. While Trump did not detail what the warrant sought, he claimed agents who searched the property, quote, even broke into my safe, end quote. The search, in part, appears to be in connection with Trump's failure to turn over some presidential records at the end of his term, instead taking them to his Florida home. Authorities previously retrieved 15 boxes of documents from Mar-a-Lago, a and which included classified materials. The Justice Department referred the case to the FBI earlier this year after receiving a request from the National Archives to investigate the matter. Now, here's the first problem with that. The first problem with that is this. If this young man is hoarding and keeping classified documents, and y'all know he took classified documents, and y'all know he can't hold water, y'all know he don't mind selling stuff and giving stuff to people all over the fruited plains, wouldn't it stand to reason that y'all might have wanted to get this stuff from him much sooner? Like, what was the wait? Like, we a whole 18 plus months, 18, 19 months after he left office, and y'all just got around to retrieving classified documents? Girl. Girl. And then they go into what Trump is saying, what the GOP is. I don't really care what Trump got to say about it. I don't really care what the GOP has to say about it. But I am going to read what it means for the January 6th probe. It's not clear what the search means for the Justice Department's broader investigation into the Capitol riot, but its probe is rapidly accelerating following months of complaints from lawmakers of stagnation when it comes to Trump. In recent weeks, the Justice Department has been focusing on Trump's efforts to remain in power through a false elector scheme, transmitting what campaign officials referred to as fake election certificates in order to reverse the 2020 election in key states won by President Biden. And it goes on and on and on. Here's what it means for Trump's reelection. Trump has openly floated running for president again in 2024, saying in an interview last month it was more a matter of whether he should announce before or after the November midterms. Some pundits speculated that Trump could use the FBI search to announce his candidacy at a time when Republicans are rallying in his defense, and when it would allow him to maximize the argument that any investigations are politically motivated. Listen, let's be clear. Trump, hey, so Jeff, but so Jeff, I see what you're saying. He ain't hard to find. That bitch is parading around the fruited plains, having pseudo campaign, speeches and rallies all over the country. He ain't hard to find, baby. When he walks off that good stage and stuff like that, I'll be waiting right there. Hey, boom, you're being served. Run us them keys right now, right now. He ain't been hard to find. Matter of fact, how did he even leave the White House with classified documents? I would venture to say in my brain, before you come out of the seat as president in them last few hours, when we're at the goddamn inauguration, somebody need to be going through these boxes and making sure that there's no classified documents and information in there. Because you're going to go back to being a regular civilian like the rest of us. But we need to make sure that you don't have, sensitive information that could harm the United States government. Child, a mess. Just a mess. A whole goddamn mess. Death sentence and the rest of the Republicans out here playing, doing their best acting job, like, oh my God, this is egregious. This is so horrible. Oh my God, I can't believe this is a tragedy of justice that they are doing. Really? Really? Governor death sentence, let's be clear. You want all parts of Trump being taken down simply because it'll help your political aspirations. So while you over there screaming from the rooftops how this is a travesty of justice, in closed circles, you over there like, yes, a mess. So just a mess. Just the whole goddamn mess. The whole fucking system is broken. The entire system is broken. Just a damn mess. But like I told you, I ain't want to spend a lot of time on that. I don't really care. Talk to me when we get not an indictment, not charges. Talk to me when we get a conviction. Because other than that, y'all wasting my time. Smoking mirrors. Smoking goddamn mirrors. Moving on. So let's go here. In the great state of Michigan, anybody here from the great state of Michigan? So Jeff, that's what I know. That's why I'm not going to rant and rave about anything dealing with Trump, the Justice Department, law enforcement or anything because ain't shit gonna happen. So I'm not gonna even get myself all riled up, all happy and everything when I know ain't a goddamn thing is gonna happen. In the great state of Michigan, we are at a threat level red. Now, most people know Detroit has the largest predominantly black city in the country. The largest predominantly black city in the country, contrary to popular belief, is not DC, is not Atlanta. It is actually Detroit. Well, here's the problem. After we had the Michigan primaries, it is being said that Detroit may soon have fewer black legislators in Michigan's capital and no black representation in Congress for the first time in more than 50 years. Excuse me. Let me read this article. Yeah, that's a problem. Last week's Michigan primary, the first held since the creation of a new citizen-led redistricting commission tasked with drawing fair congressional and state legislative districts, could be a harbinger of bad things to come for Detroit, the state's largest black community and the nation's largest majority black city. The Detroit Free Press is reporting that the Motor City could conceivably be on track to have no black representation in Congress for the first time in more than 50 years. Things are not looking good on the state level either. Currently, part of the city is represented by Representative Rashida Tlaib, a Palestinian American Democrat and a member of the squad. Y'all know we love the squad. However, State Representative Shri Thanadar, an immigrant from India, could become the other lawmaker from the state's 13th congressional district after a primary win over 8 black candidates. Some blame the redistricting commission for this state of affairs, while others believe it is premature to make that call. Jonathan Kinlock, 13th Congressional District Democratic Party chairman and Wayne County commissioner, said the commission drew up maps that, quote, basically devastated black voices. Where am I at? Independent Commissioner Ed Eade, however, said it's too early to make that call. You can't really judge a whole map due to one primary election, he said. He went on to say, I still think that after we look at this in 10 years, we'll more than likely have more minority representation than we had in the past. And it goes on and on to talk about the state level. But here's the interesting thing. This is not a situation. Michigan has a situation where the a panel of citizens come together to draw their district lines, their congressional and redistricting lines. This isn't like most states where that state legislature would, do all of the redistricting line. That's not how it happens in Michigan. But still, with this being citizen led and this commission being filled with citizens, they still managed to make it where it was less, it would end up being less black representation in Congress, and that you could possibly have a situation where there's no representation of black people from Detroit, the largest the largest city with predominantly black people. Now, like they said, it's not all over yet. We still have to get to November and vote. We still have to see how these races turn out. But please be clear, white people and the other side already knows this. They've known this for some time, and they're going to be funneling all types of money to make sure that this happens. that also is going to set them up for 2024 because they're upset that, remember, Michigan had been a part of that blue wall for years and years and years, where you knew there was this wall of blue up there in the North Midwest, in the North part of the country, with Michigan and Illinois. Sorry about that, y'all. I didn't know what happened. Y'all know YouTube sometimes be tripping on me, but I saw I think it was a fluctuation in my Wi-Fi. But we back now. We back. We back. Anyway, it's not one of them times. Y'all know YouTube good for it. They good for shut the bitch down. They ain't get me this time, girl. They ain't get me. Anyway, um, so Michigan is a part of that blue wall that I was saying. The other side is doing everything in their power to get that blue wall back. Okay. Um, and well, it had been the blue wall for years and years and years. When 2016 came and Trump came, they actually turned several states in that blue wall red because they voted against Hillary. And that blue wall turning red, parts of that blue wall turning red up in the north, is how Trump was able to win. But then in 2020, that ended up being how he lost, because Michigan went back blue, Pennsylvania went back blue, Illinois stays blue, so we ain't have to worry about that. I think Minnesota or Wisconsin went back blue as well. So that's how he was able to win. And so they're looking to try to um make moves up in Michigan again, and that's where this all comes into play. Because if this happens the way they want it in 2024, Michigan will go back red. That's what they're counting on. That's quite a few votes in the electoral college. We'll stay we'll stay on the beaten path with this, but just know we're working on this. We want also we want Wisconsin to stay blue. My frat brother Mandela Barnes, who's the lieutenant governor of Wisconsin, is running for United States Senate against Ron Johnson, and he's been doing pretty good as of lately. There's been Ron Johnson has been saying some very just wild and out of control stuff about Medicare and Social Security, about how he's trying to shut that all down. And so Mandela Barnes, very attractive black man. But anyway, Mandela Barnes is who's running on the Democratic ticket against Ron Johnson, is going to try and make some way. Why a lot of polls are showing that he's starting to edge out, and he's up in the polls against Ron Johnson. So not only do I not just want him to win because he's black and we're rooting for everybody black, well, not everybody black, but we're rooting for him, but also and because he's my frat brother, but also that could be another vote on the Democratic side. And if we can steal a vote from the Republicans, that can help to cancel out the fucktards that are Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. The problem is this. My fear is, even if you have enough votes to negate Manchin and Sinema's votes, then what will still end up happening, your president is just unwilling to come out and say we need to get rid of the filibuster. He's unwilling to just come out and say we need to put more people on the Supreme Court. He's just so. Don't get me started. I almost had a meltdown again. I felt myself going down the road, but it's just I'm afraid that even if and when we do go out here and deliver and get enough of votes that could negate Manchin and Sinema, that he's going to be unwilling to pull the trigger on some things. I'm just saying. You ain't lying about that, so Jeff. They are the two most powerful people in DC. They running the whole goddamn country. But who was here way back in December of 2020 when I said here on this platform in December of 2020, before we even had a goddamn January 6th event, before we even had a goddamn inauguration, I told y'all Joe Manchin will be the most powerful person in Washington. Did I not say that? Go and look. It's still up there. The live is still up there. We said it right here. The live is still up. Baby, these trolls are here today, honey. They must be know I loves me some good porn, honey. They are here for it today. Shout out to the trolls. Thank you, mods, for doing what you do. Shout out to the trolls, honey. They are here for it. So we're going to be monitoring this situation up in Michigan. Um, this could have effects because we got to make sure that we protect Rashida Tlaib, who's a member of the squad, and we got to make sure that we get our people in there. All right, let's go to this next story. It came across my timeline, but Tracy, shout out to Tracy, Mod Squad, sent me this story as well. So no. Since I'm in Michigan, let me get Michigan out of the way. I'm gonna save that story. Child, they got you working today, so Jeff. I see you, honey. I see you, girl. So let me get this story out of the way. Since we're in Michigan, let's stay in Michigan for a while. So in the great state of Michigan, here's what we got going on. A Michigan town has voted to defund the library over LGBTQ plus material. What do y'all want me to do with that? What do y'all want me to do with that? Let me read that for you again. A Michigan town has voted to defund their libraries over LGBTQ plus material. And with that, I need some sugar because I feel my sugar levels are not girl. What do y'all want me to do with that? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I'm trying, y'all. Hey, y'all know. Now, let me read this article. All right. I had to get those gummy bears down so I can regulate my sugar levels and I can get through this goddamn article. A library in Western Michigan is at risk of closing in the next year after town residents voted against a tax that would have funded 84% of the facility's budget following a fight over a book with LGBTQ plus themes on the library's shelves. On Tuesday, people in Jamestown Township voted 62% to 37% against approving a millage that would have been applied to residents' property taxes in order to fund Patmos Library. The vote followed a dispute over a book called Gender Queer, a Memoir by Maya Kobe, which had appeared in the adult graphic novels section and prompted some residents to speak out against the content at library board meetings earlier this year. The library staff attempted to compromise by placing the book behind the counter, but the residents formed a group called Jamestown Conservatives and pressured neighbors to vote against the millage, which would have added $24 to property taxes for the average home in the town. Jamestown conservatives objected to the author's story of coming out as non binary and handed out flyers which read, quote, pray that we can make changes and make the Patmos Library a safe and neutral place for our children. And end quote, and warned that the library's director was promoting, quote, the LGBTQ ideology, end quote. The library director resigned in the spring, citing harassment and claims that she was indoctrinating children. According to Bridge, Michigan, yard signs also appeared ahead of the vote, reading, quote, 50% millage increase to groom our kids. Vote no on library, end quote. Without the funding from the Millage Library Board, President Larry Walton told Bridge, Michigan, the library is likely to run out of funding by the fall of 2023 after its reserves of $325,000 are used up. Maurice Kreisman, books editor for Vulture magazine, called the vote, quote, catastrophic. The potential closing of Patmos Library, which will only be avoided if the town votes again on renewing the millage, comes as Republican lawmakers at the federal, state, and local levels are promoting a nationwide battle over materials teachers and librarians can share with children. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill earlier this year barring public school educators from having classroom discussions about gender identity and the LGBTQ plus community. Republicans in at least 36 states, let me repeat that number again, 36 states. So contrary to popular belief, that ain't all in the South. 36 states have proposed or advanced bills to restrict public school lessons pertaining to racism, the contributions of people of specific races or ethnic backgrounds, and other related issues. The panic over gender identity and race discussions was always a cover to strip schools and libraries of public funding, said Jason Linkus, deputy editor of The New Republic. The threat to Patmos Library, quote, demonstrates why forces opposed to public libraries, schools, and taxes, libraries, schools, and the taxes that pay for them are culture warring so hard, said author and podcaster Jennifer Berkshire. The vote in Jamestown followed a months-long effort earlier this year by Ridgeland, Mississippi Mayor Gene McGee to withhold $110,000, and that's in Mississippi, in funding for the town's library because it contained LGBTQ plus material. The mayor and library reached an agreement in April, with the city agreeing that it does not have the authority to limit what appears on the library's shelves. On Wednesday, this is a mess. Walton rejected a claim by Jamestown conservatives that the vote will be a, quote, wake-up call for the library staff. Quote, a wake-up call to what? To take LGBTQ books off the shelves and then they will give us money? What do you call that? Ransom, he said. And he finally says, we stand behind the fact that our community is made up of diverse groups of individuals and we as a library cater to the diversity of our community. This is a whole mess, y'all. This is a whole mess. A whole mess. This is not the only, Michigan is not the only place where this is happening. So now we're at the point where public libraries, which is supposed to be the place you go to for information about anything, the public library is supposed, I can't tell you how many times as a child I used to go to the public library and read up on things and just study things. This is supposed to be the place where you go to get information. This is supposed to be the place where you go to be informed about things. And you have people that want public libraries to look and sound exactly like they want them to look and sound, not to be open to all, not to be informative about any and everything under the sun. Nope. They want it just to align itself to their own religions, their own morals, and their own ideologies, which is dangerous. And this is more and more looking like what they had going on over there in Germany, where you had people. Remember what they were doing in Germany? What were they doing? They were burning books. They will pile all of the books. They will pile all of the that they didn't like. They will pile all of the artistry and all of the artwork and the music and everything in the middle of the city and burn it down because they didn't want anything that went against what they thought was the right way or that went against their area nation. Is that not what we see going on now? Is that not what we have going on? I just want to know. That's what we got going on. It's a whole mess. A whole mess. They got y'all working overtime today, mods. I'm gonna have to give y'all a bump in pay, mods, because they got y'all working overtime today, mods. Squad. I appreciate y'all. That is, listen. I'm gonna say this now. Please be clear. If you don't fight for the rights of one marginalized group, that means that you getting ready to lay down to the whims of these people for all marginalized groups. It's not optional whether or not you're going to fight. Because even if you don't agree with LGBTQ, even if you don't like LGBTQ, it's still a marginalized group. And being that it's a marginalized group, that means that this sets a precedent so they could do the same thing for other marginalized groups. Because next they're going to start to go after, oh, y'all got this material that's about black people and it's promoting that there was slavery and promoting that black people weren't good to that white people weren't good to black people. Snatch that shit out the library too. And then all of our great authors and writers and all of the books that are in the public library that explains our stories will then be removed because that's what they're doing. They're erasing people. They're erasing the culture. They're erasing people's stories. They don't want anything that isn't aligned to who they are and what they are. And what's going to end up happening is everyone's story is going to have to be aligned to whatever they want. And if you think it's going to stop with just LGBTQ material, you got another thing coming. The words of some of our greats, like the Martin Luther Kings of the world, the James Baldwins of the world, the Malcolm X's of the world, the Langston Hugheses of the world, the Angelus of the world, the great prolific writer, the Dr. Michael Eric Dysons of the world, and Cornel Wests of the world, and W.E.B. Du Bois, and their stories are going to begin to be erased. They're eliminating people's experiences. And by the time it reaches your community, it's too late. It's like when a volcano erupts. When a volcano erupts, you got to get out of Dodge. You don't listen and help some other people. Because if you wait till it gets to your house, it's too late at that point. Ain't nothing you could do. This is a mess. This is getting serious. This is getting serious, people. And you see, the article talked about that is not just Michigan. They talked about a town in Mississippi, and this is not going to stop with the towns. See, people that live in metropolitan cities then get say, "Oh, that's just those little rural hick towns. Nobody cares." But it's been proven over and over and over and over and over. When you start to add up all of those little hick towns, they start to make a powerful force. And what they can do is they begin to make up the elected officials in your the majority of the elected officials in your particular state legislature. And now something that was on the ballot in a small rural town then makes it to the ballot of the whole state. And now the entirety of the state is at jeopardy because we already got that going on in Texas. Texas has already done this. Texas has already snatched stuff out of the public libraries. They snatched these books out of the school libraries and the public libraries. Here's the thing. A state funded university is the equivalent, the libraries at a state funded university is under the same laws and sanctions as the public libraries. So what do you do if you're at a state school and college or university, and now they're snatching these books out of there? There's a problem here. We have a problem. Y'all got all the money in the world to defund the libraries and stop people from being able to learn and become informed and become edified and knowledgeable. But you don't want to defund the police. Oh, but wait, we have a story even about defunding the police. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great segue there, El Teddy. Great segue there. So, an Alabama town unanimously votes to abolish entire police department due to racist text. This is the story I got from Tracy. And after it had come to my timeline, but Tracy sent it to me as well. The council of the town of Vincent, Alabama, unanimously voted on Thursday to eliminate the police chief and dissolve the entirety of the police force after a racist joke was shared amongst officers through text. WVTM 13 reports the assistant police chief John Goss allegedly was the one to send the racist text that quickly circulated to his officers. Due to the town's police closure, Shelby County's sheriff's office is taking over all calls for the Vincent Police Department. The racist text in question recently surfaced on social media. Reports the Associated Press. A contact speculated to be Goss, identified as 752, texts, quote, "What do y'all call a pregnant slave?" End quote. Unknown number responds, question mark, and then two question marks. 752 then answers, quote, BOGO, buy one, get one free, end quote. Really? News of the text caused outrage among residents, prompting the city council meeting where the townspeople expressed their disgust. Quote, "These are people that are supposed to protect and serve, and to know they are sending these racist texts or making racist comments and things like that, it makes you not have any trust in them," said resident Sharon Davis. The Vincent City Council heard the complaints and that same night unanimously voted for the department's closure. Quote, I have thought long and hard about this. It's not a decision that I have come to very easily, end quote, said Mayor James Latimer during the meeting ahead of the vote. Quote, as all of you know, I've always wanted us to have the best police department possible. I think in light of the recent events, it's no longer possible, at least in this moment, for us to continue services of the police department, end quote. Shelby County Sheriff John um, Samaniego Samaniego, excuse me, said he agreed with the decision. He, along with the sheriff's office, denounced the Vincent Police Department, eager to provide law enforcement services for the town. Quote, the Shelby County Sheriff's Office was recently notified by the Vincent City Council and mayor regarding the recent allegations of misconduct within the Vincent Police Department, and we equally condemn these actions, end quote, the department said in a statement Friday. Um, so there's good here. The good thing is um Vincent, Alabama won't be without law enforcement. The county sheriff's department has already agreed to do that. Now that's not unheard of. In my fair city of Miami Gardens, um, when the city of Miami Gardens first started back in 2003, they didn't have a police force, and it is the largest black city in Florida. It's the largest predominantly black city in the state of Florida. Um, but the county sheriff's office did the policing in that area. They were already, even when it was unincorporated Miami-Dade County, the county sheriff's office did the policing and law enforcement in that area. So when they did form the city of Miami Gardens, that continued with the agreement with the county sheriff's office. Now, and let's be clear, sheriff's offices have jurisdiction countywide anyway, whether or not there's a police department or not, they do have jurisdiction countywide. Now, what some cities do is they do want the specialized attention to their respective cities by having a police force that is, dedicated to just their respective municipality. But I applaud them. And this goes, do y'all remember last year? I believe it, no, I think it was 2020. It wasn't last year, it was 2020, I believe it was. Or it might have been, it was either last year or 2020. Remember on the ballot in Minnesota and Minneapolis, they had that ballot question on the ballot whether or not they were going to disband their police department and then create another and reform or redo the whole law enforcement agency within that municipality. And it would be something that the city council, along with citizens, would come together and craft and come up with what is best suited for law enforcement in that area. And it was voted down. And there were Democrats that were putting money, millions of dollars behind voting that down. And which I thought was stupid, because I think in a lot of these areas we are at the point where you just need to throw the whole shit away. Just throw it all away. Just get rid of it all. Like, you talking about really going in there and having true police reform is not possible. It's just really not possible in a lot of places. And so what that means is, if it's not possible, then it's time to rethink it all. Throw it all away. And we'll just reassess. We'll get competent people who are degreed, people who are knowledgeable in criminal justice and law enforcement, in all of these different things, and in diversity and things like racial biases that go in all of these different things. Just rethink the whole thing and start from scratch. I do not blame this city. Shut the whole shit down. Shut it down. Y'all ain't helping. Y'all ain't doing nothing. That that type of joke is, I don't blame them. The fact that you could come out your mouth and make that type of joke, first of all, sir, you have no idea what that time was. It you weren't even alive during slavery. So for you to even make a joke as if you know what it is to own a slave or something like that, which means that you would love to have the opportunity to do that. You want the opportunity to, and I'm sure by you being the deputy, what was he, the deputy police chief or vice police chief, assistant police chief, you're in charge of the whole force. So you probably do have this slave master mentality where you feel like they are subject to you in the same manner that a slave would be subject to their master. Get rid of all the ass. Get rid of all the ass. Matter of fact, I would be, now I have very, I don't believe there's ice cube chance in hell of this actually happening, what I'm about to say. But if I really, what I really think should happen is they should they should lose their licenses. They should, especially that assistant police chief, he should lose his license and certification to practice law enforcement in the state of Alabama. Because you know what's about to happen. They're going to go to the next town or city over, and now they're going to get probably paid more. They're just going to go to the next town over and get paid more. Which is why when they do these things like this, that we have to be in the business of saying, no, not only are you fired here, you're not going to have any credentials to practice law enforcement anywhere in the state. If you're going to practice law enforcement again, you go into a whole nother state. Get up and relocate. I'm just saying. But I applaud them. And I, not only do I applaud the mayor and the city council for having the balls to do this, to having the testicular and intestinal fortitude and wherewithal to do this. I applaud that sheriff's office because in a lot of these cases, the police back each other and they are in a situation where they always going to blindly back each other and they're going to blindly say, hey, we stand with our thin blue line brothers and sisters and da 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 da, and are unyielding and unwavering in their loyalty and fealty to the thin blue line. But in this case, I applaud that sheriff's office who said, no, that shit is wrong. They do need to be fired. Get their monkey asses the hell out of here. I'm here for it. I wish other cities and other city councils and other mayors had the testicular and intestinal fortitude and wherewithal to do things like this. Because that's the only time we're gonna see real change is if things like this happen more often. How many of y'all believe that this ain't going on all over the goddamn place? Because please be clear, this shit is happening all over the goddamn place, all over the place. These types of text, when I say these things are happening, these types of text messages and these types of this banter and these jokes that they make. I'm just saying. But I was glad to see that happen. I was very glad. That the part that stuck out to me was that sheriff's office said, "Nope, we think it was the right decision. We're glad you did it." So I was glad about that. We almost finished. I think I got two more stories. Two more stories, and we out of here. I don't know how large the department. It sounds like it's probably a small city and a it was probably a small city and a small department, but I can't say that with a surety. I don't know. So this story is about the fact that we're about to have whole skirmishes in this country about money and funding that we need to feed kids in schools because a lot of kids went back to school this week. Some are going back next week, and it's rolling out around the country where kids are getting ready to go back to school. So let me read this article. The conservative movement. This is by my boy Jahan Jones. Jahan Jones is my boy. I love his writing. Anyway, the conservative movement is leaving no stone unturned in its quest to marginalize LGBTQ people. That explains the intensifying dispute between conservative state attorneys general, and the Biden administration over, of all things, lunch. Back in May, the Department of Agriculture announced the Biden administration would interpret constitutional protections against gender discrimination, known as Title IX, to include gender identity and sexual orientation. The announcement advised schools to, quote, investigate allegations of discrimination based on gender identity or sexual orientation, end quote. And it warned schools that failed to protect LGBTQ students from disparate treatment run the risk of losing funds for their school nutrition programs. But Republicans have spent much of the past 2 years arguing that such anti discrimination policies trample on their religious freedoms. Nearly 2 dozen state attorneys general have signed on to a lawsuit contending states should still receive funding for school food programs if they're found to have permitted anti LGBTQ discrimination against students. To make this claim, the attorneys say the Biden administration's Title IX guidance is non-binding because it didn't receive public input, and they claim the administration is misinterpreting a 2020 Supreme Court ruling that affirmed anti-discrimination protection for LGBTQ people. Multiple attorneys general used their press releases announcing the lawsuit to push transphobic rhetoric. Oklahoma Attorney General John O'Connor got dramatic with it, claiming the policy amounts to a, quote, radical and pro transgender agenda, end quote. He called the policy, quote, another example of Biden bullying Americans by attacking our children, end quote. An especially odd choice of words given the policy is literally meant to prevent trans kids from being attacked and bullied. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost was another who got theatrical with his reaction too. The policy, Yost said, is, quote, literally converting carrots into sticks and using them to beat a political agenda into local schools, end quote. Republicans are telling on themselves here. Note the policy requires schools treat LGBTQ students like other students, nothing more, nothing less. Republicans just don't like it because they want the freedom to oppress these already marginalized groups. It's an argument that rests on the dehumanization of LGBTQ youth, a twisted belief that these kids are unworthy of protection because they're unwitting accomplices in a nefarious plot to push some sort of satanic agenda. Of course, none of this is true. LGBTQ students aren't in school to groom or gawk at their classmates. Instead, it's conservative lawmakers who are obsessing over trans students and whether or how they express their gender or sexuality. We got a whole mess here. A whole mess. The Biden administration said, listen, if y'all out here discriminating against the LGBTQ youth, we ain't giving y'all the funding. You ain't getting no federal funds. These attorney generals are saying, fuck you. We reserve the right to discriminate against LGBTQ youth and still get the fund, and still get money. So you have literal attorneys general around the country going to court for the right to discriminate against children. This is what we're living in. This is what this argument is about. They want to reserve the right to discriminate against your children. That's what this is about. The the language from the Biden administration said, listen, all we're asking you to do not discriminate against LGBTQ youth. Everybody needs to be treated fairly. Everybody deserves the right to live. And these attorneys generals are saying, fuck you. You're discriminating against our religious belief to be our religious right to discriminate against LGBTQ people. And because we reserve the right, because our religion tells us we have the right to discriminate against LGBTQ plus youth, you're not going to stop us from doing that. That's what we got going on. Children. What do y'all want me to do with that? What the hell do you want me to do with that? But that's what we got going on. And see how they're going to paint it is they're going to paint it as if the Biden administration is trying to keep lunch out of the mouths of children, when in all actuality, y'all are trying to keep bullying and prejudice in schools, and they're trying to stop you from doing that. And they're saying, no, we're not going to give you money so that you can discriminate against children. I'm not going to give you money for that. It's not even about the food, Tracy. I think that's the point that we're making. This is nothing to do with the food. This is everything to do with the fact that all they said was, listen, Title IX, if you are violating Title IX, if you discriminate against LGBTQ youth are included in Title IX. And if you discriminate against them, you will not receive federal funds. Part of those federal funds pay for school lunches and school nutrition programs. But they want to make it seem like, oh, they're trying to keep food out of no, they're not trying to keep food out of the your kid's mouth. They're trying to keep bullying and discrimination out of the school system. That's what the fuck they're trying to do. What do y'all want me to do with this? I don't even, I don't have words to describe how horrible and heinous this is. You literally have I just want y'all to wrap your brains around the attorney general of any state is the one who's supposed to be, in the courts fighting for the laws and fighting to make sure that people are doing right by the laws of the land. And we have attorneys general around the country fighting for the right to discriminate against your children. Wrap your brains around that. Wrap your brains around that. Hmm. And in more cases of grown people doing horrific things to children, we have a case in the great state of Nebraska where Facebook gave Nebraska cops a teen's DMs so they could prosecute her for an abortion. Go ahead and say it for me. Y'all know when I do this, y'all know what I'm saying. Go ahead and say it for me while I eat my gummy bears to try and regulate my sugar levels. Go ahead and say it for me, because like, this is a horrible place. A horrible place. Mm-mm. Let me read this for y'all. What do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? A Nebraska teenager is facing criminal charges alleging she aborted a fetus in violation of state law after authorities obtained her Facebook messages using a search warrant. 17-year-old Celeste Burgess, who is being tried as an adult along with her mother, Jessica Burgess, because the mother's being lumped in this as well, is awaiting trial in Madison County District Court on charges they broke a Nebraska law banning abortions after 20 weeks. This marks one of the first instances of a person's Facebook activity being used to incriminate her in a state where abortion access is restricted, a scenario that has remained largely hypothetical in the weeks following the United States Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Nebraska currently outlaws abortions beyond 20 weeks. On Monday, Republican lawmakers in the state failed to secure enough votes to decrease the window to 12 weeks. Celeste and her mother were charged in July with allegedly removing, concealing, and abandoning a dead human body and concealing the death of another person after the Norfolk Police Department received a tip claiming Celeste had miscarried in April at 23 weeks of pregnancy and secretly buried the fetus with her mother's help. The case was first filed by the Lincoln Journal-Star. While Celeste told police that she had suffered a miscarriage, they continued to investigate, serving Facebook with a search warrant to access Celeste and Jessica's Facebook accounts. They subsequently found messages between the mother and daughter, allegedly detailing how Celeste had undergone a self managed abortion with Jessica's help. There are 4 states that ban abortion at 24 weeks, and more than half a dozen that broadly ban it at the start of fetal viability. Andy Stone, a policy communications director at Facebook, acknowledged a request for comment but said he could not immediately confirm any details about the incident. A month before Celeste was charged, Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook parent Meta, was asked by employees how the company will protect those seeking abortions. Zuckerberg replied that efforts to expand encryption across the platform will, quote, keep people safe. Cyber end quote. Cyberscoop reported in May. Meta's VP of HR, Janelle Gale, told employees they were not allowed to discuss abortion at work, according to The Verge. The company later announced that it will reimburse employees who find they must travel to a different state to seek an abortion. Still, Meta has remained largely silent on how it will moderate abortion content in general. However, users recently noticed that Instagram and Facebook posts about acquiring abortion pills, such as um my mifepristone, I can't even pronounce that, were being systematically removed. At the same time, Meta continued to earn revenue from anti-abortion advertisements containing dangerous information. Media Matters found an investigation by the markup discovered that Facebook was collecting data from users interacting with abortion services websites and subsequently made that information available to anti abortion groups. Wow. Do y'all hear what's going on in this article? It is so much going on in this article. In response to pressure from employees, Google announced it would delete location data of users who had used the platform to look up abortion services. All of the largest tech giants have been pressured on whether and to what extent they may cooperate in investigations that seek to punish women for seeking an abortion. In June, Meta spokesperson Andy Stone told the Washington Post that the company carefully scrutinizes all government requests for user information and often pushes back, including in court. End quote. A district attorney assigned to the case declined to comment. An attorney for Celeste Burgess did not immediately respond to a request for comment. What's good, Jason? What is listen? So we got Facebook snitching on this girl. Then the girl had her own abortion because she live in a state where, first of all, let me say this. I am not here to tell a woman what to do with their bodies. I don't know what the situation is surrounding it. And if that young lady said, listen, I can't carry this baby to term, I don't want to carry this baby to term, for whatever reason she decided to, baby, that is up to her. And I am okay with that because I can't make that decision for her. But she probably figured, listen, I live in this state. If I'm going out here to try and make this happen, it ain't going to happen. So I got to make it happen on my home. But then you got Facebook giving access to her DMs to the law enforcement. I thought that was privileged information. I don't know. I don't know the laws of privacy in all of these different states or whatnot. I don't know. Listen, I do not try to profess to be a judiciary scholar with regard to privacy laws, but something about it seems off. Also, we read in the article that Facebook is giving access to people who search for, first of all, they were deleting messages and posts about how to find abortion pills or pills that would help you end a pregnancy. They were deleting those. Then they're taking millions and millions of dollars from anti abortion companies. And then on top of that, they're giving, let me read this part of that really stuck out to me. Hold on. Here's the part that really stuck out to me. Let me read this part again because I don't think y'all heard um, this part. Meta, which is the parent company for Facebook, continues to earn revenue from anti abortion advertisements containing dangerous misinformation. An investigation also discovered that Facebook was collecting data from users interacting with abortion services websites and subsequently made that information available to anti-abortion groups. This is what the fuck y'all got going on. I saw that earlier. I saw that this morning. Diamond Pro Jim. Yeah, Lamont Dozier did pass away. I saw that this morning. But Diva Warren, here's the thing. Normally, if a woman gets to that point, there's probably something that is going to be life threatening or altering for either the mother or the child at that point. Uh, In many cases, Diva Warren, if you have somebody doing that at that stage, there's a very significant reason why they have to. I'm not saying that that was necessarily on the case here, but in most cases that is what happens. But here's the thing, Diva One. You see, Nebraska, they want this to happen at 12 weeks. They want this in certain places to happen at the moment of conception. There are states right now passing laws that say as soon as um sperm enters egg, that's it. So the dangerous part about all of this is they coming after you. And the other parts about the fact that you got companies like Facebook and Meta, the parent company for Facebook and Instagram, that are giving information to anti-abortion groups and all of these things, so that those anti you think those anti-abortion groups aren't collecting this information, sending it to law enforcement, and having law enforcement go after these people? Like, this is some real serious shit. Listen, I'm not going to tell a woman what to do with their body, because there's a lot of instances where men and a lot try to tell people what to do with their body. And let's be clear, if pregnancy involved a man's body, we would not be having this conversation. If being pregnant involved for men what it involves for women, we would not even be having this conversation. White men and their supremacy don't want you to tell them a goddamn thing to do with their body. Hell, these bastards didn't even want to wear a fucking mask when we had to wear masks when in order to protect people's fucking lives. They didn't even want to wear a fucking mask. But yet you want to tell a woman that she has to go through a period of 40 or more weeks where she has to alter everything about her diet. She has to alter everything about her life. She has to go through what is sometimes life altering and life threatening um, situations. And then tell her, no matter what happens, no matter how hard it is, you're going to have to do it whether or not you want to. Are you fucking kidding me? Exactly. So Jeff, if men had to carry the babies, baby, they'll be killing them. They'll be taking the babies' lives. They'll pull them out, pull them out, and take their life right then. I'm not listen. I'm not gonna question a woman. I'm not gonna judge her on what to do, because baby, I don't know that I could do it. Listen, men be ready to end it all over a kidney stone. You think they're gonna push a baby out? Like, you get driven to your knees pushing out a kidney stone. You think you can push a baby out? You talking about people altering their diets, even altering what you can do with your hair. There's certain things I eat and drink that I'm not just not giving up, and that you have to do. Just a mess. Hey, it's me, D. What's good, boo? So my point is, be careful on Facebook, y'all. Be careful because, as you can see, Big Brother is always watching, and they are willing to give your information to people who do not mean you any good. That shit is scary. The fact that the Meta is collecting data on anyone who looks up abortion services and giving that information to anti-abortion groups while simultaneously taking millions of dollars from said groups. This shit is out of order. This shit is out of order. I'm still wearing masks too. Exactly, Tracy. Like people want to sit up here and dictate people's bodies at this, but at the same breath, they want to say, "Oh, when we were in COVID, you can't dictate to me what I do with my body," and da da da. Da. But then in the next breath, you want to dictate what a woman does with her body. They ain't synced my grinder. I don't really be on grinder like that. I ain't really been on none of the apps like that at all. Not Grindr, not Adam for Adam, not Scruff, not Jacked, not nothing. Cause these people got the monkeypox, and I can't be giving the monkey. I can't be catching the monkeypox. I already got my first dose of the vaccine. Got my second dose in 2 weeks. Baby, I'm not playing with y'all. Mm-mm. 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 That's all my stories today, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Listen. Once again, if you came in late, on my community wall is a link to a lifetime license for office professional. Lifetime license for $59. Let me $59.99. So for $60, you can get a lifetime license for office professional. That shit is worth its price and go. And they have both the Mac version or the Windows version that you can sign up for. Go on my timeline, I mean my community wall, and look at it now. And click the link now. If you're watching this after the broadcast is already aired, it won't be up there because I am going to make it members only. After this live, it will go to me. So if you're here now, go ahead and go to my community wall, click the link, and have it already open on your timeline. I mean, on your browser, so you can go and do what you need to do with that. Don't say I ain't hook you up. See, I'm over here hooking y'all up. Just saying. Don't say I ain't love y'all. You're welcome. Anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. That's all our stories for today. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. Um, I am going to be back maybe tomorrow or Thursday, one of the two. I don't know. But I'm going to do a run your mouth at some point this week. So we'll do that. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. As you can see, we give out information that people need to know. So I do want to continue to say like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all follow all of the YouTubers that came in the room today. Yah is going to be live tonight with whether or not you like it. Check out So Jeff's podcast. Check out It's Me D and his page and all that he's doing over there. Check out Diva Juan and his reviews and his DoorDash and DoorDash Chronicles and stuff. And did I miss check out Tabitha, who was here earlier, and her channel with she has two channels. She has Tabitha Speaks, and she has her politics channel as well. So check out all of the people. We're praying for traveling mercies for Really B as she travels across the world. That's my sis, honey. Yeah, all of that good stuff. Do all of the things, follow all of the people, all of that good stuff. If you are so inclined, Cash App, but is the handle is right here. You could always support the snack fund right there. If you're so inclined, hook a brother up. I done hook y'all up today. Y'all can hook a brother up. I done hook y'all up today with a good little discount. Lord. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. Until next time. As I always say, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. Shondos to everybody, Shondos in and around the chat. Y'all know I love y'all. You about to get up out here. Until next time. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We out here.